Peace, family. I'm Uncle Reem, and this is Uncle Reem's Reactions. Today, we're going to look at routing tracks from MPC Beats to Ableton Live. Let's get it.
None of these garbage-ass, clown-ass rappers finna get no money on my watch. He a big stepper like Sasquatch. Murder rate keep increasing cause these coward-ass niggas like shooting guns. They cannot box, catch a pot shot, or an overhand right to your snot box. Knock, knock. It's Uncle Reem the Chosen. He finesse him like the Rosen with just a couple of seconds on the shot clock.
Just to give a little background on this topic, I had a really difficult time with getting my tracks off of MPC Beats and getting it onto Ableton Live. Previously, what I would do is after I would record the beat, I would track the beat out, put it on separate tracks, and then I would upload those tracks to Ableton Live. But there's a much more simpler way that we can do it. And what I'm about to do today is just show you a way where you don't have to track out a sample, or pardon me, you don't have to track out tracks separate from MPC Beats. You can route the tracks directly into Ableton Live from MPC Beats. What I'm about to show you is how to route tracks from MPC Beats to Ableton Live. What I have set up here is I have a track that I just worked on. I got it ready, and I'm pretty much ready to route it to Ableton. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and delete these tracks because I want to show you guys from the beginning how to go about it. We'll delete, yeah, we'll delete that as well. Okay, so when you are routing tracks from MPC Beats to Ableton, it's going to take a few steps, okay? The first step is you open up Ableton. And this is before you even have contact with MPC Beats. You open up Ableton, okay? After you open up Ableton, you go to plugins. You know, you have all these categories here. You have plugins. You click on plugins. If you have MPC Beats loaded to your computer, in this menu where it says name and it has the different options of digital audio workstations and VSTs you have loaded to your computer, you would have to click on Akai Professional under audio units. See, we have audio units and VST. We click on the audio units menu, and then different audio units will come up. You would click on Akai Professional. Once you click on Akai Professional, whatever Akai products you have loaded to your computer will come up as an option. So here I have MPC Beats as well as MPC Essentials as an option. So I would double click on MPC Beats. Once you double click on MPC Beats, your first MIDI track has the MPC Beats label, as well as the MPC Beats DAW interface will pop up on the screen, and you would have access to full usage of MPC Beats. And from there, you would go to File, and then you would, load recent project, and the track that you want to route is probably going to be the first one on the list because it goes to your most recent project. Now, once you go to MPC Beats and you get into MPC Beats, there's the first thing you should track is your beats per minute. And you should remember your beats per minute of the song you want to route to, because Ableton has a default beats per minute setting at 120 beats per minute. And if you click on your song on MPC Beats, it will pop up at 120 beats per minute, whatever is on Ableton. And from there, you got to re-enter whatever the beats per minute you originally set your song to. So in this case, my song already was set to 120 beats per minute, so Ableton is just fine. But if it was a different case, you would have to go on Ableton, click here, change the beat per minute, and it would change in MPC Beats. Okay, so now, the next thing you want to do is you want to make sure when you go to song mode, you have whatever template you're going to use already format it and fit into the song mode so that you have the right amount of bars that you're gonna need for your entire song. So make sure you go to song mode. You know, you move your you move these templates into the song, and you have enough to sustain however many bars you're gonna need for the entire song. That's the next step. Okay, so the step after that you want to do is, and I usually go back home. You want to go to each track, like track 1, I have drums, and you want to set the output correctly. For instance, here, when I click on output, it has different options. It has submix, stereo output, and mono output. I would go to mono output, stereo output, and from there I would click on the right output. So we always start with output 3 and 4 because the digital audio workstation itself is on output 1 and 2. So output 3 and 4, I will put the drums here. And here I would insert audio track. I would rename this to drums. And then I would change this. So after I rename it, you go next to it. These are the output settings. Pardon me, not the output settings, the track settings. I would go, instead of extension in, I would change that to MPC Beats. Under there, it would turn to Post Mixer. Click on Post Mixer, click on output 3 and 4. Insert another audio track. Go back to MPC Beats. Next is keys. I had that set as output 5 and 6. Okay. Rename that to keys. MPC Beats. Output 5 and 6. Okay. Go back to MPC Beats once again. And go to the next track. Next track is synth pad, output 7, 8. And of course, you don't have to rename each of these tracks if you don't want to. I just do it so I can, so that I can keep it organized. For instance, I normally save my tracks onto a hard drive, and when I gotta go back into Ableton to get back into the track, I gotta find the correct track sometimes, and it's better if they're labeled than if they're not labeled. So do whatever floats your boat. Some people just have really good memories, or you may just be selling your beats, or however you're gonna do it. But I always like to label my beats and try to stay organized as I can. Okay, so the next is percussion, which is set to output. What is that? Output 13 and 14. Okay. So I will rename that MPC Beats Post Mixer output 13 and 14. And I will insert another audio track. And I'm really doing it this way just so you can get it in your memory. Of course, you can do it. You can insert all the audio tracks first, and then you can, and then you can do it like that. You could just set up the outputs. But I'm just really doing it step by step, just so I can show you and you can see what's going on. So output 15 and 16 piano. So rename this piano. MPC Beats Post Mixer output 15 and 16. So we've completed that step. Now the next step is simply to record the beat from MPC Beats to Ableton. So each of these, I gotta click the record for each of these tracks. And all I do now is click record. And what it's gonna do Let's record. And so as you can see, the you can see the file going in, and you can see it's being recorded. Real simple. And just after it records in full, you got full control of everything, because you can just, you can manipulate each track when normally you wouldn't be able to do that. But something is wrong, because this particular track, the percussion track, I'm not seeing the files for it. I'm not seeing the wave for it. So something I didn't do right. So now I gotta go back into MPC Beats. I gotta look at percussion and try to understand why it's not in this output 13 and 14. I have it set to output 13 and 14. Something different. There has to be a reason why it's not recording. Let me try a different output. Let me try output 17 and 18 and see if that will work. All right, we'll try this again. Okay, for some reason, it still doesn't look like my percussion is recording.